All right. So, you know who it is? It's the guy with two threes, not three threes. And today we're back with a long overdue video. So, I guess it's been over a month since I last uploaded. Technically, I've been doing live streams for OOT cycle, of course. But let me just fix the dimensions and shit. So, why is it different on this, but different on this? Whatever. We don't even need to check the YouTube scheduled videos I uploaded, but at the end of the day, we did upload a whole month ago, and ever since then I haven't uploaded since. I want to explain myself, of course. I don't really think people want to care, to be honest. I don't think really people care about that, honestly, but the main reason was because of OOT. And when OOT is going on, I feel like uploading and like recording my games isn't like probably the best idea for me. Because sometimes I would play my games and I'll throw because I'm on camera. So it's like the effect of being on camera. Sometimes I get too shocked with what plays I should do, or I don't really think about sometimes. So I felt like my best bet to actually try to qualify for OLT this season was to actually just try and I guess live stream it sometimes. But when I got to the 1800s or 1900s, I would just go by myself and play my games. But at the end of the day, I didn't qualify for any of the rounds, which is really disappointing because, I feel like this year has been really disappointing for me for Pokemon tourney, competitive, I guess, for singles. Of course, I had like a goal starting, I think, around this time last year. Essentially, I started school last year, and that's when my channel started to not really blow up, but like you see some type of growth in your channel, and you start to be more confident in what you want to do, and so. It was my final year in mechanical engineering, and essentially, I think I uploaded my Ogre video, which got like 90 views at the time, which is nothing compared to what I get nowadays. But of course, like 90 views back then compared to my 30 views I was getting back then, it was a huge big deal for some guy like me. So I felt like I wanted to see how it went. I started uploading every day, not every day, every other day, and then I've been more consistent with it. And ever since then, I had a goal of since I'm uploading and since I'm playing Pokemon, I guess Pokemon Showdown almost every other day or even every day, I would try to get to the top of the OU, journey of competitive Pokemon. So it didn't really go that well. Of course, we had the first OST, our OST tourney run, which we had not really far, but decently far. We went out in the fifth round against Ima, which is a good battler, of course. Ima's like one of the best out there, but I could have won against him. It's just one of those things where like your losses to make you who you are. I look back at that game, those not even that game, the set. I should have won against Ima. I think in that game someone pointed out my mistakes. I think it was just because I was recording and the pressure of I saw D9 with +1 T-Fly, and I got very scared, and I made really bad plays. There was a time, I think, where I should have just went Pult on it instead of just hard sacking my Zamazenta, and it was just very disappointing for me. And then we went to the seasonals, the winter seasonal. We actually went out early. I played really bad. I'm not gonna lie, that seasonal. I terrored too early, and I got killed by a Calm Mind, Iron Volume, but Terra Ghost. Got swept by it, and that was the end of my run, essentially, for that tournament. Didn't go far for that, and OLT, I was supposed to also, I know this is a lot of, just me, I guess, complaining. Not even complaining, reflecting. I'll get to the Pokemon stuff later, but if you guys want to skip this, sorry, I just want to talk about it. But at the end of the day, I was supposed to also play for World Cup for Canada, too. Not supposed to, but I was hit up by a prominent battler from the Canadian team who actually wanted me to do tryouts for them, and of course I accepted it, and I did the tryouts, but your guy likes to choke in tryouts, and I didn't do that good in tryouts. I actually did really bad. I had a really bad record against in tryouts. Of course, I did Fat Finger one game, but I don't think that really affected why I didn't get selected for Team Canada, but after that, I felt very dedicated to OLT because I felt like the next tournament was OLT. I wanted to get my name out there, so I felt like, doing the best I can would be in OLT. Of course, OLT is one of the hardest, in my opinion, one of the hardest tours to get into because, to even get into OLT, you got to qualify, and to qualify, you need to get usually around 2,000 plus elo, right? And that's like 2,000 plus elo is not even like 2,000 elo is not even enough in general, right? So, you know, I tried my best, and there was 4 cycles this time, and of course, I didn't qualify for any of them. And you know, it's really discouraging because you put in so much time into your one hobby, and essentially you don't get any return back, and it just feels like you're in a limbo state where I just felt like Pokemon Showdown, like OU, of course, I didn't enjoy it anymore. I'm gonna be honest, right? Because there's times when you play the game and you're having fun, you know? Like when I was playing the 4 cycles, I had the most fun in the first cycle and the second cycle because I was doing really good, you know? As I don't know if people are watching me like play on the OLT like channel, but I got up really high on both of the cycles. Of course, I got both 2,000 plus. I hit 2015 on both cycles. I was top 10. I was actually top 8 for one of them on the last day, but then I threw it in the cycle 2, of course, and then cycle 1 I threw it, of course, too. But you know, at the end of the day, like, it's just like a live and learn process, you know? It's never gonna come out so easy, you know, these processes of trying to win and trying to qualify, of course, right? But you know, it's how you bounce back, of course. You know how many times I thought about giving up, you know, and like I'm saying it like this is like Pokemon at the end of the day, but you know, as Blunder says, like Blunder does say that, you know, trying to be the best at something is one of the most difficult things in the world. I feel like in general, you could take that from anybody, right? You can see, like, say Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know, he plays in the NBA. To be the best in the league, you have to do so much practice, right? There's so much drills you gotta work on your handles, you gotta work on your shooting. For Giannis, it's his free throws, right? But at the end of the day, like, look, we can see Giannis is one of the best in the league. He's probably top 3, right? But the problem is we have Nikola Jokic's out there. We had Joel Embiid at the time when he's healthy, right? But you know, Giannis doesn't get appreciated as much because of how much good talent there is in general, right? Of course, Giannis is a top 3 player, but you know, my point is, like, you got to bounce back every year, and no matter what, you know, no matter your losses. Giannis I think they got swept in the first round this year, so let's hope we can see a different Giannis this year, you know. And I'm also gonna say, hopefully this year, if Gen 10 doesn't come out this year, next year, we'll be seeing a new Praveen, you know, or Prav 3N, right? So I'm hoping the next year I'll be able to qualify for all the tournaments being part of OST. You know, I'm going to be going crazy. I'm actually going to go crazy. I'm getting top 16 for sure. You know, I feel like I'm the best, or one of the best OU battlers on the site for Gen 9 OU. And, you know, the fact that I get so close sometimes, but I fail just shortly, it hurts the most. Because, you know, like, when I was shit and I would do OOT, I would get to the 1600s and I would be like, yeah, like, it's not even a point of me playing, right? But, you know, now it's like I get to the 1900s to 2000s. I reach 2000, I top 8, and you just fall short because of a little tilt, or, you know, you choke, or you fucking get hacked, and it's just like the loss streak starts to build up, and then out of nowhere you're from 2000s to the 1900s into the 1800s. So it's like, you know, it's Pokemon, of course, right? But you gotta have the mental grit to even surpass where you are right now, right? So I know I'm talking a lot of bullshit, but the main reason I took a break also, I guess we can get into that, because the main reason I actually took a break was because I got tired of Pokemon Showdown. Like, you know, OLT does, like, I'm not gonna lie, up until probably September, I was probably playing Pokemon Showdown every day. You know, I love this game. I actually love this game. One of my favorite games I've ever played in my life. It's the strategy, you know, like the communities in general, you know, like we have so many good players out there, and we even have a great community sometimes, right? So we have some people who are not, but at the end of the day, you know, there's people like RGGV, you know, or even Fooly, you know, but, you know, these guys, they don't, like, it's a community, you know. I was talking to RGGV about it, and he said that the community is actually really good in general. People want to help each other, so, you know, like, you know, it just proved that, like, everybody wants to be there for each other, and, you know, Pokemon Showdown kind of just unites everything, right? So, end of the day, I wanted to take a break because I got really burnt out from playing every day, you know, and it was kind of like, I played a lot in that month, and it was of course really good at some points, because, as I said, when I go on a win streak, I would enjoy it, but like, there'd be times where I just, like, didn't know what to do. I was kind of lost because I would lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. And then you do that for 4 hours enough, and it's like, bro, am I even a person anymore? And then you look at the time, it's 5 p.m. and you're like, fuck, I don't even have to eat my lunch. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm back now. I'm gonna do my best. Of course, I dedicated a whole year last year, I guess, to Pokemon or Gen 9 OU, so I'm hoping that this year I can somehow surpass that and qualify, get recognized as a strong battler. I would definitely put on my name in this OLT for sure, but it's definitely better to have some results, So I'm gonna do that this year, and I'm gonna actually do my best as I can. Don't make as much stupid plays, and I'll do everything I can to be recognized and respected in this community. But enough talking about myself. I know it's been 10 minutes of me talking about myself, but I hope you guys, if you guys really paid attention to that, you guys are real ones. But let's get into what I really want to talk about, which is actually the OOT metagame. So the metagame has actually changed a bit since the entire OOT started, right? Because typically people would be running like, it's typical standard stuff like King Gambit and shit all the time. Zamazenta, all this shit. But what has happened and what has revolutionized the metagame is Hatterene, Tornadus. Let me actually type this down. Sorry, let me just pull them up right now. So Hatterene's been on the uprise. Not even on the uprise. It's been like on every team most of the times. Torn's on definitely reaching OU right now. For sure. Definitely reaching OU. Fuck, what else is there? Zap, I feel like Zapdos, like, there was, if you guys know the battler Fusian, he's a French battler. He qualified for OLT this year. He used his Zap team. If I can find it, let me pull it up right now, actually. I can definitely find it. So, essentially, he used his one Zapdos team, which had a lot of breaking power because he had a Dragapult, he had a Dragon Knight, and an offensive Zapdos, which is one of the best ways to use Zapdos. Not one of the best ways, but it's really good. Why is there? What happened to OLT channel? Did they get rid of it? Am I tripping, or is this it? Nah, it's not that. Bro, I don't know what to do. Is it this one? Nah, it's whatever. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. But he was running offensive Zapdos, and it put in a lot of work. I played ZapGB, and essentially he had the same team. Not the same team, but he had a team variant of it, almost like it was basically an H-stack, not H-stack, Hazard stack with Terra Ghost, defensive gold, and he had a Zapdos. So it was essentially just using Zapdos' capabilities to the best options. So I want to say where the meta is kind of going and what I've kind of observed for now. So right now, people are running a lot of Hatterenes. They're running Torns as much as possible. Torn's going to be OU for sure in the next probably 2 months or a month. Whenever the next update comes, I don't know what the tier update's going to happen. And what else has been running around? Ceruledge, but like Ceruledge is like, fuck man, I hate Ceruledge so much. I used to say Ceruledge used to be one of my favorite mons, but then the stupid cheese set started running around and I didn't like it at all. Yeah, I'm trying to think what's on the uprise right now. On the uprise, Ogerpon, bro. Ogerpon's definitely a big talking point right now. And I guess we can talk about D-Knight too with these guys. Let me add Dragonite as well into this. Dragonite, bro. This thing is fucking crazy, man. Like, it's definitely the best Pokemon in this generation. I'm telling you this. King Gambit does not touch the things that this guy does. I win so much easier with the Dragonite than I won with the King Gambit, for me personally. But that is just my opinion. But what else is there? Is there anything else that's been uprising recently? None of these GUBLs, right? Nope. Okay, I think that's it. But we can go over the ones that I've clicked so far. And maybe... No, not Aloe. Ceruledge is kind of... I guess some people think Ceruledge has been dropping, but in my opinion, it's so good. Such a good mon. I actually hate that mon. Like, playing against it, of course. I love it. The concept is so cool. The sketching... I mean, not the sketching. The entire design of it is so sick. But, at the end of the day, it's fucking cheesy. But, let's get into the ones that we have noticed in the OLT cycle. So... Hatterene. Oh, also Rillaboom. What am I saying? Rillaboom's been on the uprise. People have been running grassy terrain teams, so be careful of that. So honestly, like, these are probably the best not the best, but probably on the biggest uprise since OOT. But we'll go into it, of course. Hatterene has been running Assault Vest, running with Psyshock, Draining Kiss, Mystical Fire, Nuzzle. Sometimes I get rid of Nuzzle, I put Psy Noise on it because I want to be able to use this to beat Garg. So I usually EV it just to be faster than Garg, which is 106 speed, which is Garg's speed tier. But we typically speed creep it, so we put 107 and we put the rest in HP. So that's what I put for Hatterenes if it's AV. But if they don't run AV, there was another set that's been run around that's bulky Rocky Helmet. Let me try to find it. This one. This is the exact variant. Rocky Helmet, Psy Noise, Nuzzle, Drain Kiss, Pain Split. Pain Split lets you cheese against like Ogerpon or even things that you can't really break through, like Slowking or something. And then you can even Nuzzle on the Ogerpon just to cripple it, of course, even more. It just basically does this thing, right? Draining Kiss, of course, you need that. Another recovery. And the HP in the defense is just too good. Like, Hatterene's like one of those underrated bulky mons, in my opinion. Like, you just don't really realize how bulky this mon is till you fight it. And it's just like, bro, it's never dying. It's never dying. Like, the 57 HP, I didn't even know it has 57 HP. I thought it was, like, bulky as shit, man. This thing is... Damn, bro, this mon is fucking crazy. I hate Hatterene. Playing against it, it's horrible. But using it sometimes can be amazing. So, overall, those are the sets I've been running around recently. Maybe there's a Combine set that's been running around. I haven't seen any Combine sets recently, but you know, Hatterene's been up the rise because usually on the teams that they'll be using, like on a, say for example, this team, I've been trying to make a Kyurem choice spec teams because of OLT. It inspired me because I fought so many like Kyurems on a Hatterene team, which is like, of course makes sense, but like, damn, bro, like it hurts because Kyurem's main weakness is the rocks, and you take that away, and you gotta play against the mind games of Hatterene coming in with the magic bounce, and you know you gotta be careful with your stealth rocks. Right? Nobody wants a stealth rock on their field, so it's really hard. Not really hard, but you know, judging when to put your stealth rocks up on if Hatterene's gonna come in is really difficult sometimes, right? So you know, Hatterene is just on the uprise in general. I think that's it you can say about the mon. So we can go to the next one, which is Tornadus Therian. So, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I won't say I'm like the earliest guy to use Tornadus Therian, but I've used this mon like not religiously, but I used to love this mon. It's just, of course right now it's really good, but on my one of my tour teams I uploaded a video with it, of course. Let me try to find it. This team, right? So this T-Wave Combine Clef team, right? I wanted to use Combine Clef because Combine Clef is so underrated right now. People don't really expect it to be that good, but it's still good, right? So we have Combine Clef, we have AV Torn, because Torn in general is just a good AV pivot, right? Because you know you have Pokemon in the tier such as who is Torn good against on the AV? Golden Go. Like, look at this team and look at Golden Go. If I didn't have Torn here, this would get 6-0'd by Golden Go. But AV Torn just solves that problem, plus Regenerator, you know, like, you can't really go wrong with the mon with that. Plus, the HP, the speed tier, like, it's such a unique Pokemon because it's so bulky but so fast. Like, you know, like, it literally outspeeds Ogerpon, gets a U-turn off, or a Bleak Wind, based on what your turn sequence is. If you want to force a tear, you can U-turn, you know, or you can Bleak Wind if you're really feeling like that. But you know, this mon is just so bulky, it's so crazy, it has great stats, you know. Lowest stat is 79, and that's the HP. The rest 80 plus, like, bro, amazing Pokemon though, U tier, of course, the stats in general. The problem was people were, like, at the time, it wasn't OU because it didn't have knockup until I think the newest DLC that came out. But he came back, and at the end of the day, now it's going to be OU, that's for sure. People were running AV Boots. I've been running Boots too. Let's see, what else? I think Life Orb is on a thing too. Life Orb is a fucking crazy ass set because, you know, people sleep on that shit. Like, you don't expect, like, Bleak Wind is not really something you really want to click onto as your team. But, you know, with Nasty Plot, but like, at the end of the day, it hits like a truck, bro. This thing, Life Orb, bro, Bleak Wind, Heat Wave, Grass Knot. Grass Knot's for Dozo, Tinglu, Guard, you know, like, it's fucking insane. Coverage, you don't think about this shit. This mon has amazing coverage. I never realized that shit, man. Look at this coverage. Honestly, like, it's overdue now. Like, this thing has to be OU. This thing is really good. Overall, like one of the best regen pivots that we have right now. It's obviously, I wouldn't say it's the best, of course, because we have Aloe and we also have Slowking. Maybe this is better than Aloe, but we'll see how the meta or adapts with it at the same time. But you know, at the end of the day, Torn is that guy. We gotta respect it. It's gonna be OU for sure, and I'm kind of grateful that it's back, to be honest. Next, what we can talk about is Ogerpon, bro. This mon. You know, I'm probably the biggest Ogerpon stan. Like, you guys can, I don't know if you guys notice that, because I'm pretty biased with Ogerpon, I ain't gonna lie. But this thing it's being, I don't know, it's really, it's a little too strong now, I ain't gonna lie. Like, the problem with Ogerpon is there's no switch-ins, of course, right? That's the main talking point. There's no switch-ins, like, you don't really have a Pokemon that really hardwalls it, to be honest. Like, say this example set. This set is really only walled by Alamolo, and like, I guess Corv kind of walls it, but if you force a Terra, you can force Terra, right? So it's only fully walled by Alamolo, right? Or anything that's bulky water, right? But even then, you can just U-turn out as Ogerpon, bring in like a Rillaboom or something, bring in something that can punish the Aloe flip turning out, right? But you know, the sets that I've been having the most trouble with is the bulky SD sets. Not these sets, of course. It's the Trailblaze SD. I think they typically run like 319 speed, right? And then they do. No, we don't need to. We just have like this, and then it's just like that, and it's just Trailblaze, Synthesis. Oh my god. Trailblaze, Synthesis, Synth, Ivy, and then the last one is, what is the last one? Trailblaze, Synthesis, or that's what am I saying? This shit is probably the most fucking annoying Pokemon to face right now. Like, there's no switching to this really. The only thing that can punish it is realistically like a hard grass type Pokemon, like Rillaboom, or even the Ogerpon itself. Like, honestly, if you can position your own Ogerpon facing this demon Ogerpon right now, like, you gotta make sure, because let's see, like this, if you SD with this Ogerpon, you're not beating the opponent Ogerpon with Trailblaze, because Trailblaze is 60% with an SD up, right? So the position you would have to be in, even like D-Knights, because like the thing is, like, I'm sorry, I'm just so like overwhelmed by this Pokemon. At the end of the day, like, this Pokemon just completely just shatters most like offenses, like destroys balances, bulky offense. Like, there's no counter to this really, this set specifically. Of course the best set is Corv, maybe. No, Corv doesn't actually beat, Corv Body Press actually does beat you, right? So that's the best counter, but like, it's like, bro, I don't know. It's too reliant on like, first of all, if you're a Corv player, you have to get, you gotta be +2 first. Then you'll be able to pressure out the Ogerpon, right? But if you can't, then it's a horrible play for you to stay in your Corv. You just kind of get sacked and let this Ogerpon get the +3 billion with the +6 or something on the speed, and then the fucking SD. Oh my god, this is a menace really. In reality, this thing beats D-Knight, bro. Like, that's how you know it's a problem. Like, you know, I used to think that Ogerpon was manageable. Just go your fucking, you know, go into your fucking dragon and you'll be fine. But over time, you start to realize this mon really is a problem, because this shit beats Dragonite. I literally lost with my Dragonite against this set. It was fucking insane. I think I had Roost on it too, bro. Like, I was roosting up, you know, I was doing my best, and this shit was with the +2 SD Ogerpon, ID coverage was 50%. Bro, what's the point of roosting, man? Like, it's fucking insane. Of course, I love Ogerpon, right? It's one of my favorite mons, but this set variety or versatility is so crazy. Like, look at the moves it has. Knockoff, I love knockoff. You guys know I used to love throwing knockoff on my Ogerpon since they catch the Pult or even like a Sinister coming in, right? They have sub 2, taunt, like Trailblaze, U-turn, Woodhammer. I've never seen Woodhammer being used. Do not use Woodhammer, of course, unless you want to kill everything. But Zen Headbutt is probably for Amoonguss if you really want to kill that mon, right? But bro, this mon is probably like it's amazing, right? Of course it's amazing. It has the best physically attacking moves in the game, probably. Ivy Cudgel is just too broken. It has Stomping Tantrum, bro. Like, I didn't even know that it has that move. Bro, this mon is just, it's really good. I would like to, I don't know if it's broken. I said it's kind of broken. It's on the fence of being broken, but it isn't fully broken because, you know, I like to complain about how, like, stuff is broken and stuff isn't broken, but finding the borderline of which is not broken and not broken, I mean, which is not broken and broken, is definitely a lot harder in this generation, right? So the thing with Ogerpon, with initially having that, is not that fast. Like 350 speed isn't the fastest, but it isn't the slowest, of course, right? So you can revenge kill with your offensive mons like your zombies into your Dragon Pulse and stuff, but if it trailblazes up, you're gonna be in a world of pain. But at the end of the day, it's definitely on the cusp of being broken, but I don't think it is. On the viability rankings, I'm pretty sure it's S right now, S minus. So let me just pull it up to prove you guys, like, show you guys. I think you guys know that, but let me just search it up because I'm kind of stupid. I don't really use Smogon like that. But oh my god, let's see. Okay, let's see. So yeah, it's S minus right now. Clearly it's literally considered the top 8 best Pokemon in the tier. One second, I gotta sneeze. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So at the end of the day, Ogerpon might, I don't know if we need a suspect for it. Maybe we can have a discussion thread about it, because at the end of the day, like, I feel like I don't really want anything else to get banned, in my opinion, because I feel like if you get rid of Ogerpon, Glasgow becomes broken, and then, like, Kyurem, like, is not needed anymore. Like, Kyurem's, what is Kyurem's place in the meta? It's not really, like, I feel like Glasgow, I mean, I think the discussion was before when Kyurem was getting banned, people who didn't want Kyurem to get banned, because it was like a great way of punishing Glasgow, because Glasgow was a bit rampant at the time. And as soon as Glasgow, and as soon as Kyurem got banned, I remember I played the metagame of, like, for a week where Kyurem was banned and Gliscor was broken. Like, it was guaranteed broken. In fact, it was so broken that I think the entire community wanted a suspect test, and it was actually going to go down like that. Finchinator was about to release that there was going to be a suspect, but what happened was I think the Kyurem scandal started coming out, and people realized that it was a hoax, and people started realizing that there were some fake votes to skew the voting, and that's what happened. So Gliscor stayed in the tier because of that. If Kyurem wasn't in the tier anymore, then Gliscor wouldn't be in the tier, and if Gliscor wasn't in the tier, maybe Ogerpon wouldn't be in the tier. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, I don't know what I'm saying, but Ogerpon at the end of the day it's just on the cusp of being broken always. Like, I remember when it was talked about, it was Gliscor, Ogerpon, and Kyurem. Those are the 3, but now we have new ones, right? We have Ogerpon, we have Dragonite, we have King Gambit, we have, like, I think those are the 3 that are the most, like, controversial right now. But they're never going to be banned, because, like, what's the reason to ban them, like, in my opinion, right? Like, before, in this generation, we had, like, clear-cut, like, Pokemon that were broken, right? We had, like, what's that called? Archaludon, we had, Flutterman, we had Palafin, we had all these mons. But now it's like, we have certain checks for the broken mons that we have in this meta right now, right? Ogerpon, of course, there's Hydrapple. You know, you just gotta run a bulky dragon type, or run a grass type against it, of course, right? And then you have King Gambit, so you just gotta run a Great Tusk or a Moltres. You know, of course, it's not as easy as it says, because, you know, King Gambit has a lot of Terra types to be flexible about that. But, you know, there's always a way. So that is the main point of Ogerpon. Is it really broken? I don't know. I think personally, from my end, it's not. But if you guys want to think otherwise, I want to hear you guys talk about it in the comments, and let's go into the next one, because I feel like I talked about Ogerpon for a little too long. Next is Dragonite. This mon, I love you so much, man. One of my favorite mons ever. I don't know if you guys know the lore about this mon for me, but, you know, I used to love it since probably, like, I think about 10 years ago. Me and my bro used to play Wi-Fi battles all the time, and he used to have, like, a black, white, and black and white save file, and he also used to have a black and white 2 save file. He used to let me battle him with his black and white save file, and he would get the black and white 2 save file. On his white 2 save file, he would have a Garchomp, and I had a Dragonite. So it was like this battle of the pseudo legendaries, right? So that's when I actually got into competitive Pokemon because of him. Those training Wi-Fi battles were so fun, and it was like a great time to be able to use Pokemons that you fell in love with. And I felt like at that time I fell in love with Dragonite, one of my favorite pseudo legendaries, right? This thing in general, the stats is amazing. It's just a good, amazing mon. Being one of the OG mons too, right? It's still good from the past gens too, which is crazy. It's just better and better every gen. They even gave it a Mega this the next gen, I mean. But that's the craziest part. Dragonite gets better and better every gen. I'm here for it. I love Dragonite. But this generation, not talking about where they get where it's gonna get the Mega. We don't know what's gonna happen with that. Of course, it's probably gonna get banned because you give Dragonite a Mega, that shit's gonna be Ubers for sure, bro. Like, there's no way you can balance that shit. But that's not the point I'm talking about. We're talking about normal Dragonite here, and in Gen 9 OU, this thing is actually up of S rank right now. Isn't that crazy? Can we talk about that, man? In a tier where I think before people were calling it like washed and shit. In Gen 7, Gen 8, it started coming back. It had heavy duty boots and shit, and it was getting back to where it was. Kind of, they never really was at the top, to be honest. But Dragonite up until like, I think maybe, I don't know if it was actually even prevalent in like the older gens, but it got buffed in small ways. It was like Volcarona, because Volcarona got heavy boots, and then it got Z moves, and then it got everything, and then eventually it got Terra, and that's what broke it, But Dragonite's almost on the same path as Volcarona right now, because the reason why it's so good is Terra. I'm pretty sure we all know this. If you play Gen 9 or you would know that Dragonite's just kind of broken. It's like the very cusp of broken. Like, I love Dragonite. I spam Dragonite on all my teams. Not all my teams, but like most of my teams. They're good, right? So, I love Fairy D-Knight. Fairy D-Knight's amazing. I love Flying D-Knight because basically I love Terra Blast in general with Dragonite. Also, I love T-Blast and Terra Ground Dragonite because it's so good. Breaks, destroys like Nuzzles or T-Wave spam, right? But what I was using in OT to get 2+2000, I'll show you the team, because this team is like filthy. So I think we can talk about this one first, then we can do the other one. Originally, I took this team from somebody, not this team. I took this set from Dragonite from somebody on the, what's it called again? Their RMTs. I took it from someone on the RMT. Basically, it was a Ceruledge, Hatterene, Kyurem, Specs, and a Ceruledge. I think I mentioned that Great Tusk team. And basically, it's Terra Fairy Dragonite. Terra Fairy Dragonite with more bulky. He had more bulky investment in general. His investment was really good in general. Don't get me wrong. But I wanted for something a little more, because I wanted to be faster than Darkrai. Because Darkrai is a mon, like, if you're slower than it, it's kind of shitty, right? Because you need to be faster than certain mons when you have a +1 DD, right? No matter what, no matter how bulky this shit is, it's not going to be able to take that much attacks from like something that's faster than it. That was the biggest weakness I found with it. So I made it faster. I made it 256. EVs like this, Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, Roost, Dragonite, EQ leftovers. So, I built around this Pokemon, and I was like, okay, I need to find a good mod to, get rid of hazards. So I go back to my always trusty Cinderace. I love Cinderace so much. One of my also favorite mons from Gen 8 because it's so good. It got banned in Gen 8, of course. I used to love it because I used to love spam, Pyro Ball, High Jump Kick, U-turn, I think maybe Sucker Punch, of course, like the most broken set back then. But now it's more balanced, and core change is what really brings this mon even better, because of course, don't get me wrong, the attacking stats are amazing, but what really people use this mon is for core change in reality. Really just makes the playing field level in your opponent's side. You switch your hazards, right? And it makes Dragonite easier, because if there's no hazards on this team, like if there's no hazards, like you're not facing hazards with this team, Dragonite comes in and basically just wins. Like, it's just really good. This fucking set is amazing. I don't know if I can show you in this video, but I I was on Blunder stream, and if you see me on probably most of those battles, I terrored with my Dragonite. I just won. Like, it was crazy. I would just Terra, Fairy, Dragon Dance on anything, and they would just freak the fuck out because they don't know how to break it. Because this set is so broken. It's like a better version of Roaring Moon. It's actually genuinely a better version of Roaring Moon. The only problem is it's a little too slow. So Dragapult can come in, you know, burn you on a one time, and then you can be crippled for life. Or sometimes you don't really kill some mons. Like Katarine can take 2. Like takes 2 plus from +1. So it's not really like the best situation, but you got to position yourself, of course, right? So this set, amazing. They're one of the best sets. I run Terra Fairy because everything really runs a lot of dark types, a lot of like, you know, typically Fairy plus the ground coverage is amazing, plus Roost, and you know, we saw that with Roaring Moon, so I wanted to exploit it more. And yeah, I felt like this team was amazing. Of course, this team got me to the +2000s, and yeah, overall amazing, of course. So Dragonite, the thing was with Dragonite, I think we all know Terra is too much with it. It really is amazing. Like, there's too many Terras with this mon. Like, if we can see, there's always going to be a Dragon Dance set. There's Choice Band was running around too, and OLT. There's that one team, I don't know who made it, but I've seen Shaman Sky use it. Or is this Sky Shaman? I think it's Shaman Sky. Yeah, Shaman Sky. It was like it was literally just this set, bro. Like, it was amazing. The thing is with Dragonite, it's just never gonna be bad in this generation. It really isn't. I'm just happy it's amazing. Like, I don't think I even need to explain why Dragonite's good, right? Like, there's Terra Fairy, Terra Flying, Terra Fire, right? With Encore. Oh my god, bro, this thing's too good. There's the bulky attacker set. What's this one? Oh, this is the stat. This shit's annoying, bro. This shit's really annoying. Sometimes people run Hurricane instead of what? Maybe EQ, I think. I think that is what it is. I think they don't run EQ. So essentially, this thing is like another Ogre Punch check, right? So amazing. What else? There's other Terras, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to Terra Ground. I don't think there's been a Terra Water Dragonite. There was a Terra Ghost Dragonite though. So like, holy shit, man, this thing is amazing. The point is, Dragonite's been like, it's, I don't know, before, I think I got recently updated to S-, but we'll see. Like, I mean, S- is S+, right? It's literally S+. No, it's literally S, okay. But it's the top of S, so it proves it's literally the best mon in the generation. When did it get updated? I don't even know. But at the end of the day, you know, I really wanted to talk about why OLT, not even why OLT, what happened in OLT from my end, and my thoughts about what my Pokemon career is going to be like. I won't say career, but, you know, enjoyment of the tier. So I wanted to explain that, and I wanted to explain me not qualifying for OLT, and of course give an explanation for all the good mons that are in the tier, of course, that have been rising. Tornadus Therian will be also OU. I forgot to talk about Rillaboom, but people have been running a lot of grassy terrain recently. I've seen ZagGB was using heavy boots, which kind of put in work against me. I played it and I lost against him. He's just really bulky, so as you see, people are running heavy boots. It also does check Ogre Pond, so you don't really need that much of a wave using this mon. But you know, I don't think I really need to talk about Rillaboom. It really just enables better structures for your opponents. I mean, not your opponents, your teams. So that is it from that mon. Don't really need to talk about it too much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry about the late not even the late upload. Sorry about not uploading for a minute. Just wanted to get some time before I started playing Pokemon again, and I wanted to enjoy the game a lot more. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, and if you're new to the channel, please hit the sub or like button, and hit the not to follow, it's the same thing as a sub, but you get the point. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.